Welcome, YouTubians, to the 5th episode of Smash Spec, the show where I spotlight a character and theorize on how they could work as a future fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm sure by now you've all heard the news. Not only do we now know that the 4th DLC character is going to be Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury, but we also know that we'll be getting more DLC fighters beyond the Fighter Pass. So even after the first 5, we will still get more fighters in the future. So that means there is still hope for some more of our favorite characters to make it in. Sora, Dante, Doomguy, Earthworm Jim, Lara Croft, the list of potential characters almost literally has no end in my opinion. So, of course, that means we still have many more chances to speculate on future characters, either as DLC for Ultimate or even in the next Smash Bros. So let's go ahead and jump into another episode and look at the legendary super soldier that evolved the first-person shooter genre into the cultural juggernaut that it is today. Back in the 90s, first-person shooters on consoles really weren't a big draw. Sure, there were a handful of FPS games that were kind of fun on home consoles, but for the most part, they were strictly viewed as a PC gamer genre. But then, in 2001, Microsoft and Bungie brought us a game that changed all of that. A first-person shooter that was not only fun to play, but had great visuals, an incredible sci-fi story, wondrous music, expertly refined gameplay, and a one-of-a-kind multiplayer experience. This was Halo: Combat Evolved. The flagship game for Microsoft's new Xbox console, Halo quickly rocketed to the top of the gaming industry, capturing the hearts of gamers everywhere. A feat in no small part due to the game's main protagonist, the Master Chief. Also known as Spartan 117, the Master Chief is beyond any shadow of a doubt a true icon of the gaming industry. The Master Chief has starred in 5 games, wherein he has fought his way across the galaxy and beyond against the likes of the Covenant, the Flood, and even the ancient Forerunners. Given how many different genres of games are already represented in Smash, it seems odd that a first-person shooter icon has yet to make it in. And seeing as how Smash is quickly becoming a kind of all-stars of gaming, it would be all too fitting for the Master Chief to bring the fight to Mario, Sonic, Cloud, and all the other gaming greats. So strap yourselves into a drop pod and fall in, folks, as I speculate on just how Master Chief could work as a future fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Starting, of course, once again with Chief's appearance. Throughout all of his game, Master Chief has worn a few variations of his iconic Mjolnir armor, having a different set of armor in the original Halo, Halos 2 and 3, and then another in Halo 4 and 5. Not even mentioning the set that he will have in Halo Infinite. For most people, however, the definitive look for Chief has to be his Mark 6 armor design he wore in Halo 2 and 3. And as such, I feel this should be his default look, while having an alternate costume based on the design in 4 and 5. And of course, his alts for each costume would reflect characters from the respective games as well. For his default costume, I feel he should have an alt based on Sergeant Johnson.
Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Damn right I am.
Another alt should be based on Captain Keyes, be it Jacob or Miranda.
It's good to see you, Chief.
Likewise, ma'am.
And his final alt for the default design should be inspired by Halo's awesome multiplayer. giving him the default red armor from team-based games. And then we have the Halos 4 and 5 armor set. For this armor's first alt, I think it would be best to be based off of Spartan Lock, being a mostly black armor with hints of blue. The second alt should be based on none other than Cortana, Chief's holographic partner, giving his armor a light blue color with a darker shade of blue in the spaces in between his different plates of armor.
Hide and seek's over, Infinity.
And for his last alt, like with the default outfit, it should draw upon the team multiplayer, only this time using the standard blue, but with a darker blue than the Cortana one. And, like with a few characters I've had on before, I will also address the possibility of Echo Fighters. When it comes to the Master Chief in the Halo universe, there's actually several characters who would make perfect Echo Fighters, be it Spartan Locke, Buck, or any member of Noble Team. But only one truly stands out among all the other possibilities, the very first secondary playable character in a Halo game, and that is none other than the Arbiter.
What would you have your Arbiter do?
Making his debut in Halo 2, the ship commander leading the Covenant during the battle of the first Halo was an elite named Thel 'Vadam.
I will continue my campaign against the humans.
Being held fully responsible for the destruction of the Sacred Ring, he was publicly tortured and shamed as an example to all who would break the Covenant. However, still seeing the potential he could serve, the Covenant hierarchs decided that he should be granted the role of Arbiter and be given highly dangerous tasks to preserve the ideals of the Covenant.
The tasks you must undertake as the Arbiter are perilous, suicidal. You will die, as each Arbiter has before you.
Just like the Chief, Arbiter would be a character with 2 separate costumes and have 3 alternate colors for each outfit. His first would be the silver armor he wore in Halos 2 and 3, with alternate colors based on different characters from those games. First color alt should be based on Thel 'Vadam, giving his armor a yellow coloring based on his uniform from the opening of Halo 2 before he became the Arbiter.
If they came to hear me beg, they will be disappointed.
The second should be a white armor set, based on the Shipmaster leading much of the Covenant military in Halos 2 and 3.
You are the Arbiter, the will of the prophets. But these are my elites. Their lives matter to me, yours does not. That makes 2 of us.
And the final alt for his default outfit, I feel should be based on the Prophet of Truth, giving his armor a red color with accents of blue and gold.
For your destruction is the will of the gods, and I am their instrument.
His alternate costume would then be the more elaborate gold armor he wore in Halo 5. The alternate colors for this armor are a little harder to get good inspirations for that are directly tied to the Arbiter, but I think I've made some good choices. His first alt will be based on Jul 'Mdama, the new leader of the Covenant that is at war with the Arbiter's Swords of Sanghelios.
Hunt them to the last. The day we extinguish the Covenant's light.
For the second alt, I think it would be cool to base it on the Guardians, which were the main driving force behind Halo 5's story. And for his last color alt, I think it could be a dark purple, drawing inspiration from the vehicles that the elites and Covenant used, like the Banshee, Ghosts, or Phantoms. And that about does it for the appearance of both Master Chief and his Echo, the Arbiter. Now, to move on to his moveset.
Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
Throughout the numerous games in the Halo series, Chief has wielded a wide array of weapons. Some crafted by the UNSC military, some wielded by the Covenant, and some by the ancient Forerunners. Chief would most likely draw upon UNSC weapons and gear for much of his moveset, as well as a few Covenant weapons as well. Once again, we are going to start with the smash attacks. Chief's idle position would see him holding his iconic assault rifle, and as such, his neutral smash would have him melee opponents with it, giving 2 jabs with each end of the rifle and then a swinging strike if repeated. The assault rifle could also be switched out for the battle rifle with his alternate costumes. And for his side smash, he could simply throw a strong right hook. His up smash would see Chief breaking out the plasma sword, swinging upward to strike enemies above him. And as for his down smash, he should use the brute gravity hammer from Halo 3, swinging low in a circular motion hitting both sides. And then we have his special moves. For the neutral special, it would be best to do a short-range shot from the assault rifle or battle rifle. His side special would draw upon the thrust ability introduced in Halo 5, dashing forward and swinging with the plasma sword to strike enemies. His up special or recovery I think should utilize the jetpack ability first introduced in Halo Reach, rocketing Chief upward. This move could also do similar to Cloud's Clem Hazard attack if used again quick enough, allowing Chief to do a powerful thrust downward into a ground pound as seen in Halo 5. And for his down special, this move could work a little similar to Link's, but would see Chief pull out a frag grenade. Chief could then throw the grenade, which would bounce once off of a surface or another player before exploding. Before we move on to the final smash though, we should address some of the differences that would naturally have to come with the Arbiter. While the Arbiter did play identical to Master Chief in the Halo games, given that he is an elite and a member of the Covenant, he obviously wouldn't use any UNSC weapons. So we would have to swap out some of these for their Covenant equivalents. The assault rifle would be replaced with either the plasma or storm rifle, and the battle rifle would be replaced with a Covenant carbine. The frag grenade would also have to be changed to the plasma sticky grenade. They could also change the Arbiter's plasma sword for his Halo 5 armor, as he wielded a different sword in that game. So now, on to the final smash. I can see 2 great options for Chief's final smash. The first would be the Spartan Laser, a powerful laser cannon with a brief charge-up time. Using this as the final smash could see Chief pick up the Spartan Laser and charge and fire 3 times, allowing the player to aim briefly before the laser fires. The second option would be to paint a spot on the map with a targeting laser and call in an orbital strike from a Mach cannon. And then, we also have the Arbiter's final smash. For the Arbiter, I think it would be best to call on a Covenant carrier, targeting a large portion of the map and glassing the stage, hitting all players caught in it. So there we have everything for both the Chief and Arbiter's movesets. So let's go ahead and move on to the stage segment of this video. Ordinarily, I like to pick what I feel is the most iconic environment people associate with each character. However, given just how many locations in the Halo games are so iconic and memorable, this one was really hard to narrow down. So instead of just trying to pick 1 or 2 options, I decided to highlight 2 options from each numbered Halo game. So let's go ahead and start at the beginning, going back to the original Halo Combat Evolved. There are 2 areas that stand out above the rest for their iconic looks. The first being the island from the Silent Cartographer level. This would probably have to be another flying platform stage, carrying fighters around and setting down in different memorable areas from the level, be it the starting beach, the entrance to the Cartographer itself, or the center area of the island featuring the entrance to the underground tunnels where you encounter a pair of hunters. This stage could also feature firefights happening in the background of different areas between the UNSC and the Covenant, which could also be incorporated as stage hazards. The second option from Halo 1 I feel should be Halo's control room, either placing fighters in the control room itself or in the snowy field outside the main building. If placed inside, there could be appearances as stage hazards featuring the Sentinels or 343 Guilty Spark, either floating around the stage or firing lasers at the players.
Unacceptable! Absolutely unacceptable!
They could also, of course, be destroyable. While setting the players outside could see background action and stage hazards involving a large battle between the Covenant forces and the Flood. And now for the options in Halo 2. The first option would obviously be the opening stage in Halo 2, Cairo Station, placing fighters on a platform in the hangar bay, looking out at Earth in the background, featuring ships fighting outside the station as well as troops fighting inside. The second choice would be the Covenant Holy City High Charity. This stage I think would work best set on a platform looking out onto the Forerunner ship at the center of the city, having grav lifts on different areas as well as smaller platforms floating in from time to time. And now onto Halo 3. First up from Halo 3, we have the iconic location from the announcement trailer for the game, placing players on the cliffside looking out over the Forerunner structure, featuring flyby appearances by Covenant Banshees and possibly working in a Scarab appearance as well. Over time during the match, the structure in the background could open up gradually and trigger the portal opening to the Ark, sending out a shockwave that can catch players if not protected by parts of the environment. And as for the second Halo 3 option, we have the Ark Control Room. This is where the original Covenant finally fell. Players would fight it out on the central platform in front of the control room panel, looking back on the holograms of the 7 Halo rings. The stage could also feature the Gravemind tentacles popping up around the stage to swipe at or strike fighters who get too close. And that covers the stages from Bungie's Halo games, so now we move on to 343's Halo 4. First up, we would have a stage set on the UNSC Infinity. If the stage was set here, I think it would be best to focus on the level Infinity, featuring the Didact's forces attacking the ship. This would set players on the hull of the ship, where Chief activated the MAC guns to repel the attack, allowing players to see the guns firing on the Didact's ship in the background, as well as a Mantis fighting Covenant ground forces on the hull as well. And the other option from Halo 4 would be on board the Didact ship, more specifically in front of the Composer, where the final segment of the game took place. Showcasing cameos from different Promethean troops, we could also see appearances from the Didact himself. And if Sakurai was inclined to add more boss fights to Smash, he could use this stage to have the Didact as a boss for Chief's Classic mode. And finally, we move on to the most recent outing for Master Chief, Halo 5. Halo 5 certainly gave us some new, interesting locations that could make for great stages in Smash Brothers. Option number 1 would probably be the Genesis installation, a Forerunner planet where Cortana gained control of the Guardians.
Look at all of them. How are we gonna stop that?
This stage could see fighters fighting it out on a single platform, with smaller floating platforms moving in and out of the frame, while Guardians occasionally pop out of slit space into the background of the stage. And again, if they were added another boss to the game, this stage could allow them to make the Warden Eternal a possible boss fight. And the last option would be set on Sanghelios, the elite homeworld. While this would really be a stage more for the Arbiter, it still has a very cool look nonetheless. This stage could be set in the temple area with the large statues of elite warriors in the background, seeing the Covenant battling the swords of Sanghelios. They could also have the back wall get smashed down mid-match to reveal the Covenant vehicle, the Kraken. And there we have it, folks. That is what I think of Master Chief's potential in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm sorry this episode took so long to get out. I had a lot of game releases slowing it down. How did everyone like the analysis of Master Chief for Smash Bros? Do you think I missed any important details? Who else really wants to see Master Chief in Smash Bros. Someday? Please feel free to let me know and stay subscribed for more great videos in the future. For now though, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
If we don't make it,
We'll make it.
it's been an honor serving with you, John.